Hello everybody, welcome to another review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new album by the punk duo Softplay with the new record Heavy Jelly. I've been looking forward to this one for quite a while, and one of my favourite hype albums of the year. So while I haven't really been uploading much, I definitely want to talk about some of the albums like this that are coming out. Now, to be honest, there is a lot of albums that I also want to talk and cover, but due to a lot of stuff going on IRL, as well as a lot of stress with my work, it's basically a mixture of struggling to actually find some of the motivation to do the videos. But I want to talk about Softplay because Softplay is a band that I've just enjoyed. The band used to be referred to as Slaves, and this is the first album in the with the new rebranded Softplay label that they are associated with. Now, the name of this is definitely directed in the second track and the lead single Punk's Dead, which this was a comeback from a little bit of a, not a hiatus, but I mean, they had a break since, I wouldn't say a break, they just haven't did an album since 2019 or 2018, but then there was also some music released 2019 or something like that. And Punk's Dead, well, due to the PC, the politically correct culture that we live in now, with a lot more of it going into, you can't really say much and you can't really have names like Slaves as the band name, and because of the connotation, the band decided to change the name to Softplay, which is basically, oh, why would you change your name? Everyone's pissed off with what they're doing, so they kind of name themselves that. This one is definitely hinting at PC culture, and the whole name change is just told throughout the entire song, Punk's Dead. As well as that, the band's also pushing for something a lot louder and heavier, with Punk's Dead having a lot more aggressive instrumentation. The vocals are a lot punkier and rougher, and giving you quite a bit of uneasy edginess to it. There's a lot of songs that just have some downright harsh uncleans from Issac himself, and this is prominent from singles we had like Punk's Dead, for example, to even Act Violently, one of the heaviest songs the band has ever released prior to their discography. And then the album comes out and you just have back-to-back bangers of just heavy ideas. Now, the only song that kind of differentiates from the heavy punk that we have from this, or I'd say two actually, we have Worms on Tarmac, which this one kind of gives you a bit more of a free flow vocal delivery, giving you a little bit more of like a rappy expression, just kind of freestyling some of the vocals here. It's a fun track, and I think it's a great little break from the aggressiveness that we've had with all things straight to Bin Juice Disaster. And then afterwards you agree with John Wick, one of the most insane songs on the album. "I'm John Wick, bitch" is one of my favourite quotes from this, just because of how silly it is, but I also love the fact that they just refer to as "you killed my dog" as well, just basically giving you the whole story of John Wick. Is a lot of this kind of goes for the silly piss takey sort of stuff and the tongue-in-cheek humour of well, what a lot of British punk bands have done, especially. The only song that really plays more into a serious tone, and is the other song I was mentioning about having a little bit of a differentiation from the rest of the record, is Everything and Nothing, the album closer. This one kind of gives you a little bit more of an REM sort of instrumental, giving you a little bit more of this folk sort of upbeat, softer melodic sound, while comparing to Isaac's rough punky vocals delivered throughout. This song pretty much focuses pretty much being on the process of grieving after one of your loved ones has passed away. Pretty it's definitely an interesting way to end the album, but I mean, it doesn't take away anything, and I think it's a nice addition to kind of break up the hecticness while also putting out something a little serious to what is an album filled with tracks like John Wick, Working Title, and Bin Juice Disaster. The album, it just constantly throws you into the silliness, and then this one kind of is like a kind of pulls you out in a way, but I think the experience as a whole works great. Heavy Jelly is not what I expected, and looking at the album art, I mean, how could you expect this one to be aggressive? It's just jelly. But yeah, it's a very hectic record. One of my least favourite moments from it, and I'd say it's probably the only minor bit that kind of takes away a little bit of my enjoyment is, it's not my least favourite track on the album, but Mirror Muscles, the chorus is just really hard to hear. It just feels like the mixing kind of mixes it out, so it's a bit drowned out. And I can't even understand what he says in some of the chorus. I had to look it up. Like, I know he says I'm working on my mirror muscles, but the second bit just kind of feels a bit inaudible when you have the doom 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 sort of guitar going for it, so it kind of drowns it out, which is my only minor complaint, because Mirror Muscles is still a great track. I wouldn't even say it's a bottom 3. The only songs I'd put in bottom 3 are just because either they're a bit too short and they don't quite have the build-up climax or as much of enjoyment to me as that. I'd probably say something like Worms on Tarmac being one of the weaker ones, but even then I enjoy that one a lot. Working Title, I guess, is probably one of the weaker, but then it's again surrounded by Mirror Muscles, a fun track, and The Mushroom and the Swan, a really good, fun new song. A lot of good stuff. Issac Is Typing as well. I like this one pretty much, talking about social media. It's fun, it's a silly song, and I just love how this is how this one just kind of ends. It just ends on this random note. You think it's going to build up to something, and it just kind of just unleashes and ends that way. A lot of it's quite short. It's quite a short album actually, probably one of the shortest from Soft Play / Slaves, but I enjoyed it. I will say that this album definitely was worth a listen. It's hectic, it's insane, and I think it's definitely a really nice record from the band. I honestly will say, as much as Soft Play is probably one of the weirdest name choices you could come up with, and I think they could have done something a little bit better, it's probably sparked the best, most interesting point in their career. Like, sure, Are You Satisfied had the hits, it had Cheer Up London, it had Sockets, it had even The Hunter, but this is the whole package of like the punk that I really like from the band. And while I haven't enjoyed the other two records quite as much as Are You Satisfied, this is definitely probably my favourite, and I think this is a really good comeback. I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed this, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Hope you'll enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video.